Hey guys, welcome back for another video. What we're going to do today is we're going to be taking a look at our 2025 to 2026 Penn State Nittany Lions football team. We're going to completely break down this roster, look at the coaching staff, and look at the schedule, breaking it down game by game, trying to predict the outcome to every single game. But first things first, make sure to hit that like button. Make sure to subscribe. If you have any comments about Penn State or anything else, make sure to drop them below, and I will make sure to respond to every single comment. It is the offseason. There's a lot of offseason news going on right now. We have spring football going on. We have the transfer portal opening back up. We have a lot of changes in the offseason, and we have a lot of momentum going into the 2025 season, especially for Penn State. If you're a football fan, if you're a sports fan, make sure to like and subscribe to the channel. And the most important thing here, this is the Vegas predictions for Penn State. So I'm not predicting what the outcome will be. But when we're looking at these pictures here, when you're looking at the schedule there on the right side of the screen, that's the way Vegas sees this outcome coming out. Which games are favored, which games are the underdog, and which games as of right now are going to be the toss-ups. Looking at the favorite, they're going to be the Blue Stars, the underdogs, the Red Stars, the yellow, or the toss-up games. Toss-up games do not mean they're going to win them, do not mean they're going to lose them. It's just as of right now, Vegas says that that's a 50-50 game. It's going to be competitive. It could go either way. One of the big things coming into the season is obviously James Franklin's caught a lot of flack. People saying he cannot win the big game. He cannot win a bowl game. Cannot get over that hump. He proved the haters wrong this past season. He finally won a game in the playoffs. What is really interesting to note is, had there been a 12-team playoff the last 4 years, Penn State would have made it every single time. So he'd be one of the most successful coaches in college football, technically, currently, right now. And it's interesting to note that only 3 current college football coaches have actually even won a national championship. Dabo, Kirby Smart, and now Ryan Day. And that's it. So he's still in good company. He's still there in the top tier coaches, and he has a really good roster returning for this season. He has a veteran experienced roster. That is more important than 4- and 5-star players. The last 2 national champions, Michigan, veteran experienced team, a lot of seniors who came back for their 4th, 5th year just to play and win a national championship. They did that. Ohio State last year, a lot of 4- and 5-star guys came back their senior seasons just to make it to a national championship. That's Penn State this year. Yes, they lost Warren. That is a massive loss. The best tight end last season in all of college football. But when you look at this roster top to bottom, they are stacked at every single position. Most importantly, they have an experienced veteran quarterback. They have Drew Aller. Yes, he didn't have his best showing in the playoffs this past season, but this was a 5-star guy coming out of high school. A lot of promise. He's never really played in an offense that's tailored specifically to his skill set, but you know the skills are there. He's a mobile quarterback, but he's going to beat you with his arm, and when he comes out, he's probably going to be a first-round talent. You have a deeper wide receiver core. Penn State has definitely been lacking in that wide receiver core for the last few years. You have Hudson, Ross, Ivy, Gonzalez, Denmark, Clifford, a lot of talent that they brought in. The most important thing on this team, though, is going to be the trenches. The offensive line, the run game. Where Penn State beats you is running the ball downhill. They ran for over 200 yards per game last season. They have experienced backs coming back again. The dynamic duo. You have Nicholas Singleton, you have Katron Allen, one of the best, if not the best, 1-2 running back combo in the entire country this season. They're going to come after it. When you can run the ball like that, that opens up the play action, but it's what they can do over 4 quarters. You have to stop them, not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4 physical quarters of smash mouth football. When you run the ball successfully, you suck up the clock, you keep the defense off the field. Last season, Penn State, again, for the 3rd or 4th straight year, had a top 10 defense. Manny Diaz left. He had a top 10 defense. They brought in Tim Allen. He had a top 10 defense. Tim Allen's now gone, and you're bringing in Jim Knowles from your rival in-state conference defensive coordinator from Ohio State. He's now moving over, the number 1 defense in the entire country last season, and he's now the defensive coordinator at Penn State with a loaded defense and a very physical front 7 for this season. And, of course, you have Kotelecki returning as the offensive coordinator. It was his first season with Penn State last year. They made some improvements, but a lot of people did not see the jump that they wanted to see. You should see even bigger steps, bigger strides going into year 2 in the same system. Now, if you're looking at that schedule, one of the things that you're going to notice I don't have any red stars. I don't see anything as of right now today where Vegas predicts that Penn State preseason is going to be the underdog. At worst, the game's going to be a toss-up. They almost beat the Buckeyes last season. They technically almost made the national championship. They made a fight out of it. They can maybe get there this season. There's no games where we for sure have them losing. Even if they go 10-2, they're going to make the final 12. They're still going to make the playoffs, and they're going to have a shot again to make it to the national championship and maybe even win the Big Ten this season. Let's go ahead and look over the schedule. Let's go game by game. They kick things off August 30th versus the Nevada Wolfpack. This game is going to be in Beaver Stadium at home, one of the craziest places to play. What I hope for the season is that we actually get some whiteout games at night. Fox always screws Penn State over. They always get a whiteout game in the afternoon. It's one of the best atmospheres in college football. They need some prime time night games. Keep them out of the sun. Let them play at night, and that place is going to be crazy. It's going to make for fantastic football TV. Nevada Wolfpack, obviously, this is a team that's been struggling for the last few seasons. This is going to be an easy game. What this is honestly, let's call it what it is. This is a warm-up game for them to kind of get some things on track, fix some things that they need to work on, work out some game plays, get the easy wins before you get into in-conference football. They're obviously going to be favored in this game. The very next game is going to be the FIU Panthers. This game is also in Beaver Stadium. They're not having to travel down to Florida. This is going to be another easy win, but you want that defense to flex their muscles. But what's going to make the difference here this season? You have the run game. You've had it the last few years. What strides does Drew Aller take in year 2 under Kotelecki? If he improves even more, this is definitely a national championship caliber football team. They are obviously going to be favored that game as well. And then right after that game, the next one we have also at Beaver Stadium, September 13th, the Villanova Wildcats. Villanova, they are known for their basketball team. A lot of people didn't even know they even had a football team. I knew they did, but I had completely forgotten about it. So when I saw it, I thought, hey, Final Four, no, not this season. They are solely a basketball team. They are going to get the brakes beat off of them. These first 3 games are going to be those 50-3, 50-6 games. And then they have an off week Saturday, September 20th. They've had an easy schedule so far, 3-0, and the schedule sets up perfectly. They have the bye week leading up to the Oregon game, which is in Beaver Stadium at home. This is a team they almost beat in the Big Ten Championship. They just lost Dylan Gabriel. They're going to have a new quarterback coming in. This is Penn State's chance to beat one of the front runners for the Big Ten. Solidify yourself at the top of the stack right now. Hopefully we get this game at night. It would be crazy. This would be a top 10 on top 10 matchup. Would make for great football, especially for the fans. This is one of those games, it is a toss-up. Vegas right now can't say that Penn State's going to win it. They definitely can't say that they're going to lose it. At worst and at best, it's going to be a toss-up matchup. This game could go either way. You know the Ducks are going to be talented. Dan Lanning, they have a top 10 roster every season. He's recruiting. He's working the portal hard. They have a 5-star quarterback transfer from the Bruins. This team is going to run the ball. They have playmakers at wide receiver. They have a defense. They are physical in the trenches. They can line up and they can beat you in smash mouth football. But thankfully for Penn State, that is what they live off of. This is 2 teams that want to establish the line of scrimmage. It's going to make for good football, but both of these teams, no matter what, are probably destined still to make the playoffs this season. And then, no matter what the outcome, through the first 4, you are at worst 3-1, at best 4-0. Then Saturday, October 4th, at the UCLA Bruins, their first game on the road versus the Bruins. They might be licking their wounds from that physical matchup they just had, but the Bruins should not be able to match them, should not be able to catch them on that high bye week. They should be able to continue to roll through the Bruins. They're going to be favored. And then Saturday, October 11th, the Northwestern Wildcats. This is one of those teams, they've had some good seasons, they've had some bad seasons, but usually for the most part, this is a team that Penn State should be able to dominate in the trenches. Sometimes they have a pretty physical defense, but they never have the offense capable of putting any points on a Penn State defense. Penn State is easily going to be favored here. And then Saturday, October 18th, at the Iowa Hawkeyes. Now we have only our second game on the road so far this season. A lot of road games second half at Iowa. The reason that we have this as a toss-up is you have to respect Kirk Ferentz and the Iowa Hawkeyes, because you know every season they're going to have a top 10, top 15 defense no matter what. They're going to have a top 10, top 15 special teams no matter what. They always have one of the best, if not the best, punters in the nation, and they can run the ball. Johnson last season went off running the ball up and down, lining up in the eye, running it down your throat. They're going to have a defense. They're going to play special teams. They're going to run the ball. Old school style of football where you don't have to respect Iowa is their atrocious offense they have every single season. No matter what, they always have a bottom 100 offense in the nation. They're usually ranked about 115 to 130th in the country. If their defense only had a halfway decent offense, that would be a national championship team. But Kirk Ferentz refuses to have a modern offense. It is what it is. But that defense, you have to respect it on the road here, especially if Penn State's been cruising so far this season. Could be one of those physical challenges. It's a toss-up, but if you put a gun to my head and force me to pick, I would obviously go with Penn State as of right now. You've had a couple of tough games in that last 4 games. Now you have a much-needed bye week. Perfectly, again, setting up for Penn State. They had the bye week before Oregon. Now they have the bye week right before the Buckeyes, and they're on the road versus the Buckeyes in Columbus, Ohio. This is the reigning national champions. This is going to be a great game. Hopefully, this is also a night game here. One thing to remember, though, this is not the Buckeyes team from last season. They won the national championship, but it was a senior, junior-laden team. A lot of those guys are off to the NFL, the number 1 defense in the nation. They're still going to have a good offense. It's still a Ryan Day type of team. They're still going to have a great defense, but it's how good are they going to be replacing a lot of those pieces they had from their national championship team. They still have Jeremiah Smith, the most electrifying freshman wide receiver I've ever seen in my life. They are still going to be able to throw the ball. We know the Buckeyes always have legit top 3 wide receivers in the entire nation. They're going to be able to move the ball, but Penn State, you're going to have the experience edge. That's what's made the difference in the Big Ten and on the national stage the last few years. What team has the veteran, experienced, disciplined team? This season, it's going to be Penn State in this game, but still you have to mark it as a toss-up right now. You have to respect the fact that the Buckeyes are the defending national champions. You're just not going to come in there and beat the brakes off of them. Their defense should be able to keep this game close. They're going to be able to run the ball. Penn State probably has the edge. If there was a season for Penn State to win this game and potentially win the Big Ten, this is it. Penn State probably has the edge going into this game this year. And then right after that, you have one of the surprise teams from last year, Saturday, November 8th, Beaver Stadium. We have the Indiana Hoosiers coming in here. They made the playoffs last season. They finished last season in the top 10. Signetti, you know this team's going to have a lot of attitude. They had a very special season last year, but they had a very easy schedule. Now they're coming to Penn State, especially if Penn State beat the Ohio State Buckeyes the week before. They're going to be fired up. But if they win that game, they have to make sure they don't get too pompous and sleep on Indiana. They showed last season they can be competitive. If you don't take them serious, they're going to catch you off guard. But Penn State, to me, you're going to be favored this game. And right now, you are going down the stretch. Things are situated perfectly for you to make that Big Ten, but still to make the playoffs, which is honestly more important technically than winning the Big Ten championship. And then you have another game. This game is probably going to be a great game one day later on at Michigan State Spartans, Spartan Stadium, East Lansing. It's one of those games you have to keep your eye on. Under Smith, Michigan State is going to get a lot better. They had a lot of transfers. A lot of guys leave. A lot of guys come in. They have to establish the culture and the attitude there. But Penn State's going to be favored here. They're going to continue to roll. And then Saturday, November 22nd, Nebraska Cornhuskers. I cannot wait until this is a really good game, competitive game. We know Nebraska, they're going to get there with their head coaching staff. They're going to establish that downhill NFL discipline style of football. Dylan Raiola should continue to get better every single season. They have the coaching staff. They're going to get disciplined. They are recruiting. They are working the portal. They're not there yet, but this is one of those, to me, it's one of those catch games. You got to make sure you bring your M game here, because if you're looking at the Big Ten championship, got caught looking at the playoffs, Nebraska and their physicality is going to catch you off guard. This is a line of scrimmage team. That's the style of football Penn State wants to play, but sometimes if you're not prepared for that game, another team who plays your style might play it a little better than you that weekend. I don't foresee that happening. They will be favored here. It's just one of those games you'll want to keep your eye on, because Nebraska is an outlier potential top 25 team. And then they finish the season at Greg Schiano here at the Rutgers Scarlet Knights. Rutgers also, they always have a top 20 defense. They're always physical. There's a massive talent disparity here. Obviously, Penn State has the edge on offense, defense, special teams, talent-wise, coaching staff. But Rutgers under Schiano, they're going to play you tough. They're going to punch you in the mouth. They are just like Nebraska. They don't have the talent edge, but they have a great coaching staff, and they are disciplined, and they want to win the game. But let's be honest, Penn State's going to win it. So no matter what, at worst, even if you lose all your toss-up games, you're 9-3, and that is not going to happen. That would be a major disappointment. You will at least win one of those three, and you'll finish the season 10-2, which will get you in the playoffs from the Big Ten. Best case scenario is you just run the table and go undefeated. That is not out of the question this season. A lot of people are picking Penn State as their underdog or their national championship pick. I can definitely see that. No matter what, it is setting up to be a great 25-26 season for Penn State. You have the Big Ten championship in your sights right now. You have the playoffs. You have the national championship. Who is in front of you in the Big Ten? Last season, it was the Ducks. It was Ohio State. Now you are at the top of the heap technically because you have the veteran experience squad and you know how to win. Guys, that's just a quick breakdown and prediction for our 25-26 Penn State Nittany Lions. Make sure to hit that like button. Make sure to subscribe. If you have any comments, drop them below and I will respond. Thank you.